Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. I hope the holidays treated all of you very well. And, wait, huh? Wait, what do you mean we're already halfway through January? Well then, I guess I really should start picking up the pace on these reviews then. If you saw my previous Bleach video, you should know that I really enjoyed the first portion of the Thousand Year Blood War arc. But as you all might know, I always give my completely honest feelings on the media I cover on this channel, regardless of what the popular opinion is. And having said that, I'm not a big fan of the middle portion of the Thousand Year Blood War. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely quite a few good moments in here, and we're going to get to that later. If you are following along, just be aware that I'm going to be covering chapters 541 to 611, which is the beginning of volume 61, and it goes all the way to the very end of volume 67. With our introduction out of the way, let's go ahead and get into both the good and the bad. So we pick up right where the last section ended off, with Ichigo confronting Old Man Zangetsu. I can't say enough how much I liked this revelation of Zangetsu's true identity and what his motivations were throughout the entire series. Originally staying true to his Quincy beliefs and doing what he could to prevent Ichigo from becoming a Soul Reaper, but eventually giving in after seeing how driven Ichigo really was. This made it even better when, after Old Man Zangetsu fades away, Ichigo says that it doesn't really matter because he will always be Zangetsu to him. And then this culminates in the reveal of Ichigo's new Zanpakuto, a set of dual blades representing both Old Man Zangetsu and White, who helped him become the man he is today.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Now, we do get an interesting scene after that where Yuha declares that Ishida is to be his successor in the case something were to happen to him. Apparently, this was done to keep the attention of the Stern Ritter on Ishida to make sure he isn't doing something against their wishes. Which is kind of weird because if you just trust the guy that much, why even let him come into the fold in the first place? Now, I know Yuha says that he was really impressed by Ishida's survival of the Ashwaulan, and that's why he was named the successor. But I don't know if I fully buy that either. I just feel like we don't know enough about Yuha to know whether or not he would actually put a impure Quincy in a position of power like that. But yeah, I'm so interested to see where this plot thread goes, and I'm hoping that there's a cool payoff to this later on. Now, unfortunately, it's all kind of down here for the rest of what I gotta talk about. We have the Quincy's beginning another round of the good old invasion that they like to do. And since Ichigo and the other important characters are busy recovering and stuff, it's up to the side characters to hold the fort down. Thus begins a series of long fights between characters that I don't really care about all that much, and some villains who don't have a lot of time given to them to develop as characters beyond just looking cool, who are usually killed off right away and then we never see them ever again. And excuse me for going off in a little bit of a tangent right now, but there's something I need to get off my chest. I think that the resolution to the stolen Bankai happened way too fast. Like, almost the entire first portion of this arc was built up about, oh no, the Bankai have been stolen, what are we gonna do? But then like Urahara just shows up and is like, oh yeah, I know how to fix that, give me a second. So like all the stolen Bankai get returned, and Yuha is just like, oh yeah, it doesn't even matter because we have the transformations anyway, so we don't need the Bankai. And it's like, okay, why even go through all the trouble of setting this up if we're just gonna undo everything and then move on and pretend it never happened? Like, it almost felt like this was a knee-jerk, sudden change to the story from Kubo. I'm guessing there might have been some kind of backlash from people while the chapters were first coming out, and that's why this happened, but I'm not really sure. Also, I really did not care one bit about anything that was going on during the portion where the zombies show up. Oh no, Toshiro is dead, and now he's fighting for the Quincy's. No, just stop it. Wait. Kubo's not gonna kill off Toshiro off screen and then have him fight for the enemies. And while I'm thinking of the whole zombie thing, I have to say that I do find Mayuri pretty funny at times, But he did start to get on my nerves here because he always has the perfect exact drug needed to fix a problem. And yes, I know Mary's like speciality is observing his enemies and then using his big brain to overcome his opponents. But I don't know, it just started feeling really cheap when he'd pull out a Deus Ex Machina win out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, cool, there goes a lot of tension from the Mary fights. But yeah, so, you know, to wrap up my rambling, the problems I'm having with this part of Thousand Year Blood War is a lot of the similar problems I had with the fake Karakura Town arc. Although I did find it a little bit more enjoyable here for a couple of reasons. The first being the Stern Ritter are just a much more interesting group of characters compared to the lesser Arrancar. Except for Pepe. Please never come back, I beg of you. Second being the faster pacing, although that just might be a manga versus anime thing. But I did feel like we were at least slowly progressing things in the background, whereas during Fake Karakura Town, it was literally just, alright, we need to stall for like 50 episodes while Ichigo does his thing. And thirdly, there are some moments here and there that I really enjoyed. Like, for example, we do have Rukia achieving Bankai, defeating Asnot, and then getting to see how proud Byakuya is of her.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Also, my boy Kenpachi got to flex pretty hard against one of the most broken abilities imaginable, the power of imagination itself. My man's just endured literally everything thrown at him until his opponent accidentally kills himself because he imagines he's as strong as Kenpachi and couldn't physically handle it. And it does take a while, but eventually after like 20 fights, the plot does begin to start moving with Yuha's arrival at the Ryoku. And there we get the confrontation between Zero Squad and the Quincy Royal Guards. And then it's over almost immediately because it turns out Zero Squad are a bunch of badasses. Although it's not all sunshine and rainbows, there's a couple of things a little afterwards that I'm not a big fan of. But I mean, in the moment, Zero Squad put up a hell of a good showing. I mean, like, Oetsu and Senjumaru almost single-handedly took out all 4 of the Royal Guards by themselves and did it fashionably. And it showed that they actually worked really well as a group when they had to work together to help Oetsu overcome the lethal dose that Askin put on him. But oh boy, it builds and builds, and then we finally get the confrontation between Daddy Ichibei and Yuha. And can I just say, Ichibei being the top dog of Soul Reapers, he really did not disappoint. I think Kubo was on point with the way he designed Ichibei and his power set and just the way he handles himself in combat. And I really enjoyed how truly unique he is compared to some of the other Soul Reapers. But unfortunately, their fight ends pretty anticlimactically. Like, no exaggeration, I'm pretty sure Ichibei was whooping Yuha for like 95% of the fight, using his ink powers to weaken him and then put the odds in his favor. And then Yuha just eventually pulls out the I win card.
That was easy.
So we get the reveal of Yuha's ability, the Almighty, and just how it might be one of the most broken abilities in all of fiction. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. From my understanding, it's literally if Yuha sees an ability or power being used, he can nullify it just because. I mean, that's certainly setting a high bar for the protagonist to overcome when you have somebody that can literally just undo everything. So as we move towards the final stretch of the Thousand Year Blood War arc and Bleach as a whole, I'm not really sure how we're going to overcome something like that in the time we have left, but we'll see. Like, from this point on, I honestly have no idea how Ichigo's actually going to overcome Yuha, but I guess we're going to be along for the ride. So yeah, even though I didn't really enjoy a whole lot, there were still some portions here and there that were entertaining or interesting, so I'm going to try to keep a positive outlook as we move towards the end. Because I have still enjoyed the vast majority of Bleach so far, and nothing can change that. So I apologize again for this video being so much later than I intended. Things got really busy with the holidays and the New Year's, and I'm sorry, but let's pick up the pace. There's so much stuff I want to cover and get through on this channel. I can't afford to sit around forever doing nothing about it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next upload. I got the final Bleach video coming soon, and then we will be resuming where I left off in Vagabond. Now that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Also, big shout out to my most recent member to the channel, xdouche360. Thank you so much for the support.